How do you guys feel about AI content being used for game development? Hello, hello. I am Squalid Gamer, and I wanted to talk about AI used in game development because the letter at the end of year for Square Enix has been released. Every year, the director, the president of Square Enix, basically writes a letter for the community and the shareholders about what they've been working on and what they will be working on coming the next year. So for 2024, we have this precious thing right here where they basically detailed what they've been doing this year and what they're planning on focusing on for 2024. And the president here, which is Takashi Kiryu, this guy right here basically says that they are going to be focusing on AI. It basically details that AI has a lot of implications and a lot of tools that they can use to streamline certain things in the development process. And he says that they intend to aggressively apply AI and other cutting edge technologies to content development and publishing functions. Now, that's all he says. So we don't really know what he means exactly by that, but it's kind of worrying in some ways. Now, we're not talking about the AI that is basically the NPC AI, like how NPCs react to you, the player, or to the rest of the things in the world. We're talking about generative AI, meaning your chat GPTs, your mid journeys that have actually blown up last year. Chat GPT and OpenAI is text to text, and they have other tools. For example, DAL-E, which is text to image, and Mid Journey is another tool that is focusing on text to image. And most people are trying to work towards building tools that allow text to other things, let's say text to video, but they have not been that successful because the AI doesn't really stick to one style or is not really consistent frame by frame to generate a video, even though there have been very great developments in that front. So I don't think we are far off from the AI building a video based on text that is pretty good. Now, of course, everything that the AI generates is derivative. It's something that it learned from somewhere and then it basically combines it with other references. That's why there was this big pushback and backlash when a lot of people started using AI for different things. For example, the intro for Secret Invasion, which was AI generated and created a whole lot of backlash in the community of artists, which are the most worried about this situation. Now, last year, on 2023, Square Enix said that they were going to be focusing on NFTs. Now, we know how the market of NFTs is basically dead, but here we can see that they actually came through with the plan and released Symbio Genesis. Now, you've probably not heard of it because Square Enix didn't really put a lot of marketing on it. Now, this was released on December 2023, and since December 1st, which was the first transaction for the NFTs that come out of this game, we have seen little to no movement. Like, there have been 207 sales since the game was released. Now, this game, which I actually kind of looked at it and I didn't even know what I was looking at, is basically a way for people to create their own NFTs, which are basically cards with these characters on them, and sell them openly on the market. Right here is the OpenSea page for Symbiote Genesis. So they kind of did it, but I guess they just backed out of it because the NFT market is pretty dead. But they have been working on and making strides in the AI department. Not really, not with a lot of success, may I add. They have this tech preview, the Portopia serial murder case. Now, this is basically a redo or a re-release of a game that was released in Japan in 1983, and is basically revamped to be using AI for you to interact with the game, and the game basically reading your commands and interpreting them and acting on them. But it works terribly. Like it just doesn't work. The game is basically a glorified virtual novel where you talk to the game, but if you don't really say the prompt that the game asks or needs of you, then it will not move forward. Like, if you want to go to the port, you have to say what the game wants you. If the game wants you to say, I want to go to the whatever port, you need to say that exactly, or the game will not work. So it's not really AI because the characters don't really react to what you're saying. They are just on wheels, let's say, and they need the correct prompt or it will not work. The indie team of Bumblebee Studios did a better job of this implementation with Vaudeville. Vaudeville was a game that was really popular for a while because you can actually talk to the NPCs in this game. You can say things to them and they will respond to whatever you say, even if you say something stupid. Like, they will say, "Please just keep investigating," but they will react to what you tell them. Now, this feels more like a gimmick in this game because the AI is pretty robotic. Like, the models of the characters, they don't really have any emotions, and the speech doesn't really have any emotions either. So you're basically like listening to a robot all the time, and it is not. It doesn't feel really that interactive. But there have been attempts at this. Also, we have some people, let's say some amateur developers, that have made a mod for Skyrim to make some NPCs interactable with AI. So you can talk to them or you can type to them and they will respond to you, AI generated, let's say, responses. Now, we don't know if Square Enix is planning to use generative AI to really create things, or they are planning to use it to really streamline processes. What do I mean by this? I think it's all well and good if they use AI to help in areas such as getting rid of bugs and looking at the code and improving the code. I don't think that's pretty bad. You still would need a developer. You still would need someone to program the game, but the process of ironing out bugs in the code could be very much simplified by using AI. I don't really like the idea that they may start using AI to generate things that really should be made by people. I mean, character development or character generation, background generation or map generation or things like that that you can ask an AI to do. I don't think they should be left to AI, mainly because people know what people want. I mean, if you ask an AI what makes a game fun to play, the AI probably wouldn't come up with a good answer when developing a game. This is really worrying for people that are in the art department, and basically everybody involved in the video game process. The finals, for example, suffered a bit of criticism because the voice for the presenters in the game is just AI. The guy that tells you, I mean, which team is winning, that guy is only AI. They only used voice actors for the grunts of the characters in the game. So we already will see that some developers are willing to cut down on costs and the logistics of having to deal with some aspects of game creation and leaving that to AI. I really wish there would be some sort of limitation or some sort of statutes put in place to limit the use of AI, mainly because it would impact heavily this industry if that doesn't happen, which is actually what one of the reasons of the SAG-AFTRA protests were about, the demonstrations were about, because they are already replacing people with AI inside of video content, right? So that's all I have to say. I'm kind of worried about it. I'm not really that worried about it because of I don't think they are going to shit the bed, and the potential backlash is probably not worth it. But it's an interesting conversation. So I'll read you whatever you have to say. We can talk about it in the comments. You can talk about it with me on Twitch. I will start broadcasting there soon enough. Probably BDO Black Desert because I want to play it. And that's it. I hope you guys are well and good. And see you on the next one. Bye bye.